Okay, second, Lavis was asked to defend right. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
Objection!
Must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime. Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul. He is lying. He was that person, wasn't he? I got it!
Take that!
My reason is, this. Is that an ace? It's got blood on it! Right next to the spade. What? This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why? Could this be the missing fifth ace? Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? This is a shitty card from some show. How's that card? It's mine. That is. I picked it up at the Bowl Club that night after the murder occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock and trade after.
Objection!
No! Impossible! Unacceptable! The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. Fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I think the only person who could find the fraud would be the one who took the real card from the real crime scene, the real killer. Why don't you elaborate? What if the trace of blood is the reason for the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime? Where are you going with this? Take another look at the photo and the victim's head. Remember the crime? His hat fell on the floor. A trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose the killer then took the card to hide the blood.
Objection!
Regardless, that evidence is not permissible. Oh? Right, regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, he used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points. Hardly was this the later. What's the point now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why a killer would have taken her car from the crime scene, and now I've told you that one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence. You see, this is baseless conjecture. Baseless. Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes? Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. Everyone is placed in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer sought their card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on the victim's hand. Given this, there was one decisive problem with the scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given there was a drop of blood on the card, but whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? Victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second instances? Well, for one thing, the killer's in the wrong place, I think. You think, Mr. Justice, your job here is not to think, but to know. Just looking at you reminds me of the old days, not the good old days. Proceed. I was like, God! How does a goddamn... No. Damn. You can do that? The second witness's position is the problem. The second witness, that would be Mr. Gavin, yes? The second witness's position is far less problematic than yours right now, Justice. Or perhaps perilous is a better word. I cannot see what the bloodstained card has to do with the second witness's location. If you're more than a peril of a penalty this time. Alright, one more chance, please. I suppose. Do you think it offers justice? Yeah. When it comes to cards, it's quick fingers or no one. Let me see, and was I supposed to say something else? A meaningful observation would help your case considerably. Oh, okay. I guess it's the victim. Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. Well, look, the victim was struck in the head, sending him back in his chair. I think any blood would fall behind the body, not into the table in front of him. Huh? You can look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. Why, that's right. So what does this mean? Incidentally, we're sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh man. Paula, try turning the chair around. chair was facing the other way, it would have to be. So we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table. When Mr. Wright returned from the informing police, which way was the chair facing? When I came back to the room, the body was facing the scene in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again, let's just see your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on the diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime. The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. The contradiction points to the location of the witness. Exactly what does contradiction of the witness is? That isn't clear even to me. A plum. I know what it... okay, yeah, it's definitely the second witnesses.
Take that!
What doesn't make sense is the second witness. You mean to say I don't make sense? Oh, no, of course you do, Arthur. As I thought. Help!
Take that!
The victim was struck in the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicated currently is? I would think it'd be quite hard. Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe of sufficient reason will soon come to light. What? There's something in the diagram that makes far less sense. I have a feeling.
Take that!
You could have to be saying you were like here. You get points for flair, but that's all you get. That's something was. Goes on to something here too. I think need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha. No, I'm claiming he was inside it. Simple logic, really. This was the only place the killer could have been standing. That means that at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know! At the very moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there. What's this now? Oh, I thought he was inside the cupboard. But no. What's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard and the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Your Honor, but there's one thing we should do. Please give this to the bailiff. Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. I do my best. But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram until it's finished stage. The killer is standing here at the scene at this time of the crime. Then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Polo, try moving the cupboard. Thank you. You can see the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my! What's this? What is it now? Look at the diagram I was seeing before. appears he found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Well, dang. Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point out the new contradiction indicator. Is the victim, the killer, the witness, or the second witness? Oh. Gavin. About this cupboard, are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. Ah! That's right. Someone standing out the window would be able to see. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What did you say? Oh? Is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that game was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court? Exactly. Where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of law, and I will have order. We just received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bull Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh, and what did they find? Well, Your Honor, turns out there is a secret passage behind it. What? A secret passage? Ah, yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks of the room that many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now as he messages. Secret passage is handy when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room is a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht. Isn't borscht supposed to be hot? Just like our killer. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand! At the time of the murder, the window below was blocked and the victim's hat was only up with his head for the few minutes between Mrs. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright returned from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. At night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mrs. Smith. I mean, Mr. Smith. A date with Destiny. And there he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard. Holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came and he took it. Ah! Well, why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But this time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout, the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look in. After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood in the card. He would have, of course, realized he needed to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. In the end, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. The fact they were all red. Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne! Yuck! Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. What? Believe me when I say that I don't believe this happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
Objection!
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person... what did he say? That a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't been proven. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence in here. What he has done is use legal evidence to blame on someone else, and not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Legal evidence? Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there any reason to protect me to suspect at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain the fingerprints on the murder victim? Not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. If the court in this case made an explanation, I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor, see how the catfish swims in the last pond? Yes. Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Yeah, just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to? Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only independent one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer in there on both sides. How would you say this plain words? The reason of a brother performance questions the deed. Well, Mr. Justice. Wait, what? He's clearly not guilty. Dang it. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me, on the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up without getting out of your chair. See, you naturally go to pick this bottle up by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Recall our dinner at that evening, Stop. I was drinking my usual juice then too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then you must have remembered, so you went and dumped one of the bottles on the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and they could click the weapon. Like, the judge literally just slammed his gavel like to the beat of the song. That was funny. Order! 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 What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? You claim that I searched your bottle? Where's the proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more racist conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation that I had on earlier, do you recall? I requested an additional investigation. Yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano and force both up. And here's the long bottles of tissue. What are you going to do? Dust that fingerprints? Dust that for fingerprints too? Yes. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a notice. Say, Apollo? Yes, why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, the bottle. There it is! There's something inside the bottle. What's this? It's the 5 of hearts. The one that you put in that card. It can't be. Recall that important testimony for a moment. Mr. Orley. Yes, our little swindling devocha. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And then Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the playing card is gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that it is the playing card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony? I have to put my hand and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was 5 cards. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There's an empty bottle of grape juice that I've been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. the bottles are swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the fourth person in Club Midnight. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin! Oh my god. That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my life is changed. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. I'm glad we can have a little tete-a-tete, right? This is insane. What about me? Don't I get it? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? This time we finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin? He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now. I see. Still, one has to wonder why you would do such a thing. He didn't have a connection to the victim, did he? None that we know of. Mr. Wright, have you had anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light into the matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith, his occupation was listed as a traveler. Not profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him. I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor. Good, Mr. Wright. Yes, 7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin is a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He's extremely talented, to be sure. I need two things before I confront him. The first is a place where no justice could be tolerated. Where no injustice could be tolerated. This courtroom. Second was a man who could tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? This is a dark time for our legal system. Twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright? Our work lies ahead of us, and die for one of looking forward. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Wright, not guilty. We did it! Holy crap, that was tough. Court is adjourned. Oh my god, that was fun. April 20th, 4:28 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensitivity, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, the sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. I wonder if it means... I have one question for the witness. You saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. Today was full of questions without answers. Also about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in days to come. Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture's in the locket. I feel like he named it after my. He named her after my work. You know, you were right about this locket. I took it off the neck. His neck really died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is the locket really did belong to him. Wait, but that's perjury. You testified that you said the locket that lock was stored.
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside it. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless.
And it's the truth.
Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time.
You're still just getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices, after all.
Wait, can't he just do what? Oh, wait, he can work for writing co-law offices, right?
I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in the handcuffs. Oh, hello. Yes? How about coming to work for me?
Eh? You mean at the writing co-law offices?
I mean,
There's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. Can't imagine that to be true, but...
wait, but you're not a...
Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore.
That's been 7 years ago.
I can't do this
Yet.
Okay, I am back, and I have beaten Bridge to the Turnabout, so now I can write this 7 years ago, that legendary trial. In the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion and left law behind. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial, there's a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? Talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I bet this evidence is forged evidence.
Take that!
Ago. None of that matters much now, does it? I punched him. It's your story from here on out, Paul. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright? Oh, about your uppercut. Right, Helen, take that next time. I found it packs a little more punch. Well, thanks for today. Had a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day connected by a single thread of logic. I find that soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. And well, that was exciting. Oh. My bad. One sec. Okay. Alright, bye guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video. Bye!